start recording it on my computer just in case. We're on Zoom.
Okay.
Let's go live and pray to God that this thing will work. It says unable to access your live YouTube live. Okay. I'm gonna try something else real quick. I apologize for the technical delays. I might have to go in here. Where do I go? Your channel. And nope, stop. That's not what I want to do. How was your day, Miss Jaxx?
It was all right. It's Wednesday, right? So conference calls this morning, little bit of work. It's been mellow. It's been mellow. Working from home, same old same. Except I had a reason to put on my face today. Had a reason to put on some clothes,
Yeah.
And so it's good.
Well, I have no clue as to why it will not let me go live. And I might have to use my phone and do it two-way.
Whatever you gotta do, right?
Oh, no. This is crazy.
Is there anything I can do on my end to help you, or no?
No, because the last time I did it, all I have to do is like at the bottom of the screen of the Zoom, it tells me, I go to more and it says live on YouTube. I click on that and then I choose the account that I'm using to go live on. And right now it's just saying unable to access YouTube Live. Try signing into Google again. And I am logged in on Google as well. So I have no idea and I got people waiting.
right.
Like, I can't wait. I'm on, click in.
I know. I saw on Instagram, people were like, "Oh, we're gonna be there." So
yeah. So what I'm gonna do real quick, and I really do appreciate your patience, but I'm gonna go live on YouTube. Let me see if I can get you real quick. I hate to reschedule. Look, I ain't trying to do the Teddy Riley and Babyface thing where they have all this technical difficulties.
Yeah.
It is already 6:07. Seriously? This is crazy. Your channel doesn't need that. Oh, I can't do mobile live.
What do you mean?
I was trying to go on YouTube Live on my phone. And it said I can't do it on my phone.
Tell me what you want to do.
What'd you say?
Can you open up another page on Safari and do a speed test for your bandwidth?
Okay. I want to cry now because it's not working. I know. Jaxx, you still there? Looks like you got frozen.
Me? I'm frozen?
Oh, it's not anymore. I think my internet is in and out and whatever. But I'm gonna just go live on Instagram right now.
You what?
I'm gonna go live on Instagram.
Okay. Did I freeze up? You said I
No.
froze.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, just for a second.
Okay.
For a second. Should we go? I already told everybody that we were going live on YouTube.
I know. Should I say something different on should I post something different? It's gonna be live on yours? Or what are we doing? Do I stay on Zoom?
Yeah, stay on Zoom.
Okay. So it'll be live on yours.
Yeah, I'm going to go live and say, hey guys, it's not working out. I'm gonna continue with my Zoom interview with Jaxx, and you can watch it later on YouTube. Unfortunately, it will not be live.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's something about the interaction when you got people like, hey guys, da 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 da.
Yeah.
You
I
haven't
don't know how to do any of that
it's just,
stuff. I just hop on.
you just
I've
hop
had
on.
I
You sit
have
back and
had
you chill and you be looking all cool and everything.
no, I've had technical difficulties with other lives, like Instagram lives, where like my internet's like not picking up right. So I
Right.
understand because there's nothing you can do. Log on,
Exactly.
log back off. So I get it.
Because everybody is on the internet because you can't go out. You can't do anything, you know.
Right. So everybody, yeah. Yep.
Everybody's on the internet and using that bandwidth and everything. This is so embarrassing.
Girl, no, you're fine. You can record this and then post it later on your YouTube.
Yeah.
So
Like the link that I just sent you is to test the bandwidth, see what speed it's on.
So Jax,
yes.
do you
Let
think
me know when you're ready. Let me know what you want me to do when you're ready. If you're setting anything up. I got time, girl. Whatever you need.
well,
And I think you froze. Or I froze. Oof.
you froze.
Are
I
you
might
there?
be frozen,
Can you
but I can hear you clearly.
Nope. Hey, there you go.
I can hear and see you.
Did I freeze though? Because you froze for a second. No, I didn't freeze. I'm okay.
But anyway, let's go ahead and get started.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to do my introduction. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Experience the Leaf with Lachelle. And we are out here on the patio. Today, I am sitting here chit-chatting with my sister of the leaf, Jaxx. Is that your name, actually? Is it Jaxx?
It's actually Jacqueline, but I go by Jaxx because if I introduce myself as Jacqueline, automatically gets shortened to Jackie, and I'm not a Jackie, and Jaxx kind of fits a little bit better, so
yeah, you're
I
not
go
a
by
Jaxx.
Jaxx.
It fits you very well. It fits you terrifically. So, Jaxx, tell us about yourself a little bit. How did you get into the cigar
Uh-oh,
industry?
I think I lost you. I'm sorry. You froze up for a second. You said, tell me about...
I was saying, tell us, how did you get into the cigar industry? Thank you.
All right. So the cigar industry actually happened by accident.
Oh.
I had no intentions of actually getting into the industry. I was actually a consumer. I was a cigar smoker.
Mm-hmm.
In 2010, I moved from Las Vegas back home to California because my stepfather passed away and my mother had a hard time adjusting. And so I moved back home in 2010. And at the time, I owned my own business, and my business was failing because as an interior designer, we were affected by the real estate market. And so I really had no reason to stay in Vegas. My mother needed me more than I needed Vegas. And so I left. I moved back home, and there was a cigar shop actually in my small town that I never knew about. And it was downtown, and I passed by it a couple times, but it wasn't very inviting. It was like a man cave. Like, it legit was a man cave. You go in, they had posters on the wall, guys playing poker at the back, so and at the time I only smoked the lighter flavored infused cigars.
Oh, okay.
And so I'd pick some up there. I'd pick up at the time Jew State had one called Kahlua, which they had to rebrand it, and now it's called Tobacco Especial, but it used to be called
Okay.
Kahlua back then.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, so that's what I used to smoke. And so I started that way. I was a customer, and then I moved my business to California, interior design. And anybody who lives in California knows traffic is horrible out there. So
Oh.
smoking a cigar, finding a lounge, smoking a cigar actually killed some time. Wait for traffic to die down, and then you'd be on your way. So I started lounge hopping, and then I'd run into cigar reps, and of course pick their brain about the cigars and how to get in. And then I was like, you've got the perfect job. You get paid to smoke cigars and lounge hop. That's what I do on my free
And
time.
lounge hop.
Right. So then I talked to different reps, and I'd ask them, like, how did you get your job? And a majority of them started at a cigar shop themselves. They said, work at a
Okay.
lounge, learn the products, learn how to sell, and get to know the industry, and see if it's something you really want.
Mm-hmm.
But also as a sales rep, you have to know the product. So I part-time job on the weekends. I worked at a cigar shop called Casa del Coso in Walnut Creek, and did that for like a few years. Moved back to Vegas, and I got lucky. There was a new cigar lounge opening up in Las Vegas, and immediately, it took like about a month or two, but I got hired to be the manager there. And so I started managing
Oh,
a cigar
wow.
bar music lounge. Yeah, it was nice. It was
Wow.
nice. So we had live music, we had alcohol, we had cigars. I mean, and it's Vegas, so we were like
Mm-hmm.
late night spot, and we catered to the locals. We weren't on Las Vegas Boulevard. We strictly for the locals. We had regular members who were like doctors and lawyers and hotel managers and stuff. So it was fun. I mean, um, that's how I got in, like full time with cigars.
Mm-hmm.
Was actually managing a shop, and that, in addition to being very active on social media, promoting
Mm-hmm.
events, and like even when I would meet like Rocky Patel or Padron or anybody, like just posting pictures, because when you're in this industry, you become a cigar nerd, right?
Oh,
You get
wow.
excited when you get to
Yeah.
meet the makers of cigars. And so my social media got me noticed, and I finally I got I did put in applications to be a rep. Everybody said you don't have enough experience, and they all held on to the resume. And like 3 years, 2 years later, 3 years later, like I finally get a call back and say, hey, are you still interested in being a rep? And
Mm-hmm.
I got lucky and I took it, and
It
so
was your time,
here I
girl.
am. Yeah,
It was your
yeah.
time.
It only took about 10 years. So,
It,
no, I'm just kidding. It took
10
it took
years ago.
about it took about 5-6 years working behind the counter
Mm-hmm.
before I finally got uh, a position as a rep. I will say it's a lot harder for a woman to gain this
Okay.
position than it is for a man, and it's just because of that mentality. Like, and I've had companies tell me before I became a rep, like, well, you're on the road a lot, right? You got to stay in hotels all the time, right? Like, as
Mm-hmm.
if I couldn't handle it. And I understand that in their minds, it's more, I guess, it's easier for a man to do it than a woman, but that's just their thought.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it is. I want to say it is harder for a woman to actually get a chance,
Mm-hmm.
but I think women have proven ourselves to be
Yeah.
really good saleswomen, and more companies are starting to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, my company, like, we have a sales force of like a handful of women. I think we have, in comparison to other manufacturers, I think we probably have the most female cigar reps within
Mm-hmm.
our company. And it's kind of nice to be in a company that I'm not just up against males. There's a good amount of women who are on the top,
Right.
like top of our our sales ladder. So
Yeah.
it's
That's
good.
awesome.
So, and here I am now. So,
You
yeah.
represent very well. I guess your company, what is the company that you are with?
So I work for a company called Altatis USA. We kind of we're a company that it's like has multiple brands underneath it. So
Right.
we've got Monte Cristo, Romeo and
Julieta.
Juliet, Shopman, Tread Onyx, Omar T's, and a whole bunch of other smaller lines like that I want to say not as popular, but we do have a lineup of a few other brands as well. And a lot of people could recognize our brands as being Cuban named brands, which
Okay.
our company has 51% ownership of Habanos SA, 50% percent ownership of Habanos SA. So if this embargo lifts, then our company has our share in that. Now, things are changing. Our company just got sold and bought and split. And so I have no idea exactly how that's gonna change anything. So,
Wow.
but yeah. So,
And how long ago was that? That's just recent? It's more recent?
2 weeks ago. 2
2
weeks ago.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
I wonder
Yeah.
if COVID can be blamed for that. It might have been in
It's
the works
actually
already.
yeah. No, the transaction has been in the works for over a
Oh,
year
wow.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just as of recently. So I've read like Cigar Aficionado and Half Wheel and all that, and so they probably know more about it than I do. So
Of course. I am smoking Trinidad today. Yes.
nice. So am I. Except I've got the newer version of the Nicaraguan. You got the original, which is
Yeah.
Dominican, but you can't even find those anymore. That
Oh,
looks like Lost City, but I could be
really? This was
wrong.
gifted to me.
Nice. Nice. Perfect.
Said I wanted to represent you today with your brand.
Representing.
So I want to, bring it back a little bit. We can play a little game,
All right.
a
I'm
word game.
down.
A word game. You know how you throw out a word and then you tell me what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Okay.
It's fun.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. Maduro. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I say Maduro?
First word that comes to mind. Oh, okay. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
The internet doesn't want us to be great. Really?
It's all good. We're gonna work with
You
it.
can't do YouTube. The internet wants to connect and disconnect, but our first word is Maduro.
Maduro.
Mhm.
Okay. So my answer to that, dark chocolate. First thing that comes to mind. Dark chocolate.
Yes, I like that. Heat.
Pete.
Heat.
Heat.
Heat. Heat.
Pete. Oh, I thought you said Pete. I would have said Johnson. But so Pete.
Who is Pete
Pete.
Johnson?
Pete Johnson owns Tatuaje Cigars. He
Oh,
is Mr. Tatuaje. But you said heat.
I
So
see.
heat, fire.
Okay. Cigar. That's an easy term.
What's that?
Cigar.
Stogies.
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 Flavor.
Java. I
Mhm.
don't know why. Maybe because it's one of my favorite
Oh,
flavored infused cigars. Java.
cool. Smoke.
That's not a word, but smoke, exhale.
That's a word. Okay. Burn.
Burn. Rocky Patel, Naples, Florida. That's the name of his lounge. So burn, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. See what these words come up with, and why? Burn. Rocky Patel. And how you put those two
Yeah.
together. And he has a lounge. In Florida?
Yeah, so
Oh,
he's got a lounge. The first one, Burn, it's called Burn, is in Naples, Florida. But
okay.
he did open a few more. He's got a couple more that he opens up. So he's got his own lounges, and they're called Burn.
I
So
have
when you
to
say
make my
that's the
way
first thing that
there.
comes to mind when you say
That's
yes.
so
It's I mean
awesome.
it's bougie, but it's like his decor is out of this world. He's like he has
Mm,
this Indian flair to it, but yet it's still really modern and chic.
hmm.
So he's got a great decor. It's unique, very unique.
I can believe it. I follow him on Instagram, and this man is very active. I mean, he's like fishing, and he's doing this, and he's doing that, and he's bringing you in his home. He's cooking, or he's got a chef cooking, or whatever. So,
Yeah,
and I just love following his personality. Is just great. Of course, his cigar.
yeah.
He's got great
Got
cigar.
some good smokes too. Yeah.
So, what is some of the biggest changes that you have seen in the industry while you've been, smoking or rather repping or whatever? What is something that has really changed over the years?
Um. So I'm not sure if it's like the change that's actually happened in the industry, or if it's change of me moving from across the country and
Okay.
experiencing how smokers are on the West Coast opposed to the East Coast. But I want to say that it's become a very social, uh, like a social thing
Hmm.
across the board. Like I've noticed that, like, and I guess the term I would use is like parking lot pimping, like where you can pull up to any parking lot, grab your chairs, grab your
Yeah,
cigars,
I like
and
that.
it's like a scene, and it's like tailgating,
Mhm.
and that's something that I never really experienced before, where
Mhm.
we're gonna make something out of nothing. It don't
Okay.
matter if it's raining, it don't matter where we're at, we're gonna create our own lounge right here, right now, you know
Exactly. That is a
and
parking
I
lot pimping.
no, but I feel like that has become more common, I feel like people are a lot more prone, and it's so
Mm.
diverse, and it's just it's not just confined to a cigar lounge. It's not
Mhm.
confined to a like this, like a high-end cigar lounge. It's more casual now. It's
Mhm.
like, so I want to say that I feel like it's expanded. It's become
Mhm.
a lot more casual on a regular basis, because
Okay.
I feel like people have done that on occasion, like if they're tailgating at a game or something, or if there's
Mhm.
even a cigar festival, they would do it. But now I see it happen more often, where it's like a regular thing,
Mhm.
so
I've
so
always thought of cigar smoking with a certain class. It just, to me, just adds a whole dimension to your aura.
no, I think I had a conversation a couple weeks ago in regards to this. It's like it's a lifestyle thing,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Cigars is I think it's become, the way I view it is, it's become more of, it's like a new hobby, right?
For some.
Women have, yeah, like women have hobbies, or men have hobbies too, like whether it's fishing or golfing or
Mhm.
hunting, and women have hobbies too, whether it's like, we do happy hour or brunch or tennis or whatnot. I feel like cigars have found its own little niche, is becoming a hobby for people, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go spend time at the cigar lounge, or ladies of the round table, like, I'm gonna make my time to have, my
Yes.
cigar with my people. It's like
Mhm.
we make the time for things that are important to us,
Right.
and it's become a thing. I mean, we take the time to go shopping for our cigar. We
Mhm.
take the time, and I think it's become a hobby that both men and women have embraced. I think women are more open to embracing it now, but
Mhm.
it doesn't define us, but it's a
Right.
part of us. And so it's a lifestyle thing. But I
It's
love that
definitely a
about,
lifestyle thing.
yes,
Like,
yes.
yeah. I dare you take my cigar away from me. Don't you dare. During this whole COVID-19 quarantine thing, what is it that you have been doing to keep yourself occupied? Are you still working? Are you working from home? Are you, what's
Yeah, so
how
luckily,
has it affected you?
well, it's affected me personally in the sense where I'm so used to being on the road. I'm so used to traveling. Typically in a year, I spend a like 200 plus days in a hotel,
Wow.
annually. And to not have left the house and like gone on 70 days now has one, it's a good thing because now I pay a mortgage, so I get to enjoy what I'm paying for.
Exactly.
But I but I do miss being on the road. I do miss seeing customers. I think the biggest change for me would be not being able to hug anybody because I'm a
Mhm.
very affectionate person. I like to embrace people, my
Mhm.
customers and my customers, just
Exactly.
because like our industry is so small. It's like when you finally see somebody you haven't seen in a while, it's like, oh hey,
It's
and
family. We're
hugging them is my
family.
thing. And the fact, yeah, exactly. And so I think that's the hardest part for me
Hmm.
is not being able to embrace the people that I feel like is it like extended family, um and then I mean I think we feel a little bit connected through social media and through doing
Yeah.
like Zoom conferences or whatnot. So but it's not the same as actually being there with somebody, and
Yeah.
and so so I think that's changed my life. But I think that's
Hmm.
everybody. It's not just me. It's just I think that's a little
It,
bit everybody,
yeah.
So
Yeah. So what is one of the things that you look forward to doing when we come out of this? Other than, going to the lounge and hugging people and all that kind of stuff.
well shoot, I can't wait to get back on an airplane. No,
Mm,
so I think like on a personal note, outside of the cigar industry,
right,
I think
yes.
the one thing I worry, I guess it's on my mind is I don't know when I'm going to see my family again.
Mm-hmm.
Because almost all my family is in California. All my girlfriends are in Las Vegas, and not knowing when I can actually get on a plane and see them, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I think so. My mother, she's going through cancer treatment. She has breast
Oh,
cancer, and she's
wow.
going through radiation. And
This
I
is a
think the
very
biggest,
difficult time.
yeah, and she's in good spirits and she's in good health and she's healing. But I realize I could be a big threat to her if
Yes, if
I
you were to
if I
go.
don't take, yeah, if I were to go see her, or even if I were to carry it,
Mhm.
COVID, and it doesn't affect me, and that bothers me because she's my mother. The
Yeah,
first thing I'm going to want to do is hug her, and I don't want to be a threat to her
exactly.
because I want to embrace her. And so I think that's one thing that's like reality, that like it's real, but
Mhm.
I don't even know when I can see her again. And
Yeah,
that's what bothers me because we don't even know when we're going to have a vaccine or a cure.
exactly. I
So,
did not want this to go this way. I didn't want it to be so serious, but
oh,
but
I
that's the
know, but
reality of it all. That's the
yeah,
reality of it all. I mean, and doing things like this help to get our minds off of those type of things, where we don't have to look at the serious side, even though we have to. Uh, it gives us a little
it's
getaway.
a, yeah, but I think the good thing is it's like the more I talk about it, the more it
It
starts to
helps.
like it does. It helps.
Hmm.
And I think when I have things like this, or even, and like when there's Zoom conferences, when we get to be casual and just
Hmm.
smoke and talk, I think that helps. It helps get just your mind off of things. I can only talk to my cat about so much, really, in reality. So to be able to talk to another human being about, things that are going on, it helps.
Where is your cat?
So, now he's inside the house. So,
Like you put him inside the house so he won't interrupt you.
yeah,
He'll
he
probably
likes
want
to
to be
talk.
loving up on you and
So, but yeah.
So if someone was to approach you in a lounge and you're at the table repping, doing your rep thing, and I
Yeah.
come up to you and I say, Jaxx, you know what? I really don't know what my flavor profile is or whatever. Can you help me out to choose the right kind of cigar for me? What's the best, tell me what you do when you get people like me.
All right. So if you were to come to me and say, "Hey, I'm new to this," or "I'm not familiar with your cigars,"
Right, yes.
what would you recommend? My first question to you would be, what do you enjoy drinking? Like when you're smoking a cigar, what do you like to sip on while you're smoking? And it will answer it as if you're,
And most of the time,
as if
I'm drinking a wine, a red wine, maybe a Cabernet or something
red
of it.
wine.
Or if I go white, it might just say wine.
Okay. So wine. Okay, perfect. So if you enjoy a red wine, then I would suggest either like a darker wrap cigar,
Mm-hmm.
either a Maduro wrap or even, let's say, like a broadleaf. If you like something on the sweeter side, I would definitely recommend something like a coffee flavored, chocolate flavored cigar,
Mm-hmm.
because the red wine, it complements the cigar, pairs well, kind of like how Oreos pair well with the milk, right? It's two
Mm-hmm.
things that you're like, you wouldn't know until you had it, but they complement each other even though they don't taste the same.
Right.
So Maduro has more of a cocoa essence to it. So people pair
Yeah.
chocolate with red wine, and so there's that complementary factor there where when you're smoking your cigar and then you sip on the red wine, it kind of cleanses the palate a little bit, but it marries the two flavors together. So I would recommend you to either a Maduro wrap or even like an añejo or a broadleaf, just because I think your palate, you like that richness, a little bit of fruit, but a little bit of tart. So I want to give you something on a different end where it's going to be maybe more earthy and cocoa-y, so
Okay.
that it actually pairs well with what you're sipping on.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, I gotta get you to enjoy the experience of it, right? I
Yes.
want, but not knowing, like, especially if you don't know what you like to smoke. If I
Mm-hmm.
know what you like to drink, then I can recommend something to pair
Mm-hmm.
with it.
Okay.
So that
And I
that's
think
my thing.
I have like a broad palate, so I can go from anything sweet to a Maduro, but some Maduros will kick me in my butt. I'm telling you, be like, I can't finish the stick. Like,
Well,
and
so I would. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, you go ahead.
So I would recommend too, is like, because sometimes you don't know how full a cigar is, and it hits everybody
Mm-hmm.
differently, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like I know La Flor Dominicana has like a lot of Lajero in their cigars, and so it's really full bodied. Sometimes it's peppery, and or even like Drew Estate has their Liga Privada line, and it could be kind of full to some people who
Mm-hmm.
maybe don't smoke as much. And I always recommend sipping something sweeter that's probably carbonated,
Oh,
whether it's root beer or even
a
a
good old
sweet
Pepsi.
tea. Yeah, and I love root beer
Okay.
with a cigar, especially if it's a Maduro wrap, because if you have a full bodied cigar and then you have a really light drink that's sweeter, it'll balance it out. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
starting to sweat, if you're smoking a cigar, you're starting to sweat, and then you're
I
starting
need
to
some
feel it, sip
sweet.
on something sweet and carbonated, and it'll neutralize it. It'll balance it out for sure.
Yeah, I remember being at one of the lounges here, and this guy had some chocolates, and he's like, "Here, just take a few bites off of this, and as you smoke it and stuff." So that helped. And then one day I was sitting, I think Griffin's Lounge, and they offered me some dates. And I was like, oh, wow, that was so good to have that little taste of sweetness after you smoke.
Yeah.
And then I went and bought some dates.
You know what helps too is right. What also helps to cleanse a palate, and I just learned this recently, is so I did this tasting of different flavored wrappers, and to cleanse a palate, to completely clear out your palate, is almonds, like raw almonds, not salted, and then like either tonic or club soda, right? Something that's just carbonated, but it like cleanses your palate, where if you're moving from one cigar to another, cleanse your palate so you're not tasting, you don't have the aftertaste of the last cigar. And that helps, which I didn't know that, but it actually, surprisingly, it actually helps. So just munch on a couple almonds, clear it out with some club soda. Yeah.
But
and that'll help
salted.
too.
Not salted. So almonds and some club soda. Club soda is nasty. Ugh.
I had to drink tonic. I did tonic.
Okay,
water,
tonic.
So.
I was like, all right. Ugh.
So, but that helps. It really cleans the palate.
So what is your what is your flavor profile? What is your smoking profile?
So for
you're
myself,
a Maduro girl, aren't you?
You know what? I used to only be like Maduro smoking, but I've tried so many different ones. It really depends on what I feel like drinking. And a lot of what I enjoy drinking, which is like coffee, root beer, or whiskey and rum, or even cognac, it pairs well with Maduro wrap. So I typically go that route, but I found that I like to smoke lighter cigars, like whether they're Connecticut Shade, or even like Cameroon wrap. For some reason, it's just my palate's changed a little bit, and I've kind of expanded my cigar that doesn't fight the drink. I find that when I'm enjoying my drink more, I'll pick a cigar that won't fight it. But every once in a while, if I'm smoking a really flavorful cigar, I'll choose a drink that's not going to fight my cigar, because I'd rather enjoy the cigar and just sip on something to cleanse my palate. Gotcha. So the cigar is the priority, and then the drink is just something to sip on. And a lot of times I'll just get like sweet tea, and I never finish it. I might drink a little bit, but it's just to cleanse my palate.
Yeah, I'll be drinking that sweet tea down because I'm thirsty. I'm like, it'll be gone before I know it. So it balances well with the cigar and everything, but I'll be like, I need some water. I'm doing better. I'm on my little detox thing, and I'm drinking my water, and so that's what I'm doing. I hate to say how much I've gained since I've been home, sitting on the dunk.
We all have. We all have. We all have. You ain't the only one.
Oh Lord, I feel so bad, but that's okay. It is okay. So have you had any time, to like watch television? Have you watched what movies have you watched that you enjoy, or any shows that you've been binge watched? I binged watched Ozark.
Oh, my girlfriend told me about that one too. She said that once you start it, you will not be able to stop. You got to like watch the whole thing in its entirety.
Until you get a headache and you say, I can't deal with this anymore. It's like, oh no. It's like, I'm going to bed. I can't with them.
Yeah. Yeah. So surprisingly, I think I'm at day 68 that I've been stay at home. I haven't turned on my TV at all.
Good for you.
And I've got like Netflix and all of that stuff too, and I pay for the Amazon Prime, but I haven't actually. I actually catching up on my read. Finished like 3 books so far. So, but I'll be honest with you. Like, I am a complete nerd. Like, I read books, I journal, I make vision boards.
That's awesome. That's not nerdy. That's
It's
not being a
nerdy,
nerd. No,
but
it's not. No, it's
it
not.
is.
I
Well,
think
because
it's great.
I don't know what's going on with, like, I mean, I haven't even watched like Tiger King, and I see all these
Oh,
memes and I have no idea what they're talking about.
either.
And I don't even know who Carol Baskin is, but I know because I heard, but I have no idea who she is.
Me neither.
So, but you know what I mean. So,
Yeah.
no, but I just, I don't know. And what I have been doing is been focusing on social media, trying to kind of build up my
Mhm.
brands, build up awareness for my brands. Um,
Mhm.
when it comes to the company I work for, we're very corporate, right? So like
Mhm.
Monte Cristo, Romeo and Juliet, it's just such a big brand that they've never focused on social media because never really had to. We're like the
Right.
Coca-Cola and Pepsi in the industry. So it's like it's something that they never had to focus on. But now that we're in where we're in,
Mhm.
and all, like all the boutique companies or semi boutique companies who have been very strong on social media,
Mhm.
that's like our competition. And so as a rep, I have to represent my company because we don't have a face to our brands, right? We don't have a Mr. Monte Cristo like
Right.
Sean Williams is for Cohiba, or even Rocky is for Rocky Patel or Jonathan Drew or whatnot. So I've been kind of focusing on that, as far as like building up a social media presence.
Mhm.
That can be time consuming, and
Very much.
I'm sure you know, because you have been very active on social media, building
I'm
up your YouTube
trying.
channel. But
Trying.
you see how time consuming that could
Very
be
much.
as well, you know? So
Very much.
it's not just executing what you're doing, but doing research on how to get it done, how to do these things. And so trying to juggle that and work and all that,
Exactly.
it can be
And then have time
time
for
consuming.
yourself.
So,
And having time for yourself too. So it's like,
right.
oh man, oh,
Right.
crazy. Yeah, and I want to thank
So,
you for joining us on our roundtable discussions on Friday. That's been
oh
great.
my gosh.
You definitely bring some interesting to the table.
I think I
And-
ruffle feathers sometimes, but I love
no,
it because you
yeah,
get so many different perspectives. And like for anybody who's watching your YouTube channel, who's not aware of the ladies of the round table, it's not just about the ladies, but
yes.
I mean, you guys cover topics all across the board, and
Hmm.
it's interesting. And I think it's funny because you get to know each other on a
Hmm.
personal level that I think once we actually see each other again in person, we'll be like, ooh, girl, I know about you.
Yeah,
So,
it's been great. It's been great. Um, let's see. What are some of your pet peeves? Do you have any pet peeves?
yes. I hate I hate it when like a guy asks me if they can try, or even a woman asks me if they could try my cigar that I'm smoking. Like
Now
they just
that
want to
would,
puff.
yeah,
And
no.
I'm like, I don't even know you. I don't know where your mouth has been. Like,
That is
no.
really bold for somebody to ask you, can I taste your cigar or smoke your,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
one
Can I
that you
try? Like,
smoke? No.
can I, like, in a women, especially if you get them and they've been drinking, I'm like, can I just
Oh,
try it?
no.
And I want to be like, like I gotta be nice about it. But a lot of times I'm like, no, no,
No.
no, this is not that type. It's not puff puff pass. We don't, that's not that, it's not this kind of thing. And so
Mm,
that bothers me because I have to be nice, right? I have to be nice because I
yes.
represent a company. But in
Hmm.
the same token, it's like you really want to ask them, like, are you kidding me? Like, are you serious? You're joking, right?
Right.
Like, but so that bothers me. What also bothers me too, and I think some people, I don't know if they're oblivious to what they're doing, or if
Go ahead, say
I
it.
don't know. So
Say it.
like, because I work for a company, so every once in a while I'll do a cigar event at a cigar shop, right? Let's say at a local shop. And so I'll get these guys who come in, they smoke what they smoke. And I get that. I respect it. I'm a big brand. You like boutique stuff, that's cool.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna pressure you. If you don't want to buy my stuff, it's all good. Sit
Yeah.
down and relax. don't ask me what you get for free if you're not going to buy my brand. But I get that all the time where somebody will go in, they'll buy their other, you know, I'm not
Yeah, their favorites or
any,
whatever.
yeah, which is fine. But then they'll come to me and be like, what do you want to give me for free? And I'm like, nothing. What'd you buy of mine? Nothing. Then
Mm-hmm.
you get nothing. So,
Nothing
but
to nothing
it's
leaves to
almost like,
nothing.
are you serious? Like you're not gonna support my brands that we're promoting here, and I'm giving you a deal, and I'll give you things, but you gotta, you
You
know,
gotta
it's a give
purchase.
and take, you know. Even
Mm-hmm.
if you bought one of my stuff, maybe I'll give you something, but that's a pet peeve of mine where it's like,
A great
I
pet
know,
peeve.
I know you know better, but if you just playing dumb, you know what I mean? So, but I don't think I'm the only rep that deals with that.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the first rep to admit it, but I'm probably not the only rep that deals with that. So
The only thing you have to do is get it out there so people will know. See, guys, you who are watching, you know, don't do that. Don't do that.
right, you know
No.
better. You know better.
Just like, you know, a lot of lounges you go to, it's best that you at least purchase something there before you sit
Hmm.
down and, you know, enjoy your own personal stash. It's
Absolutely.
just
I
not
mean,
somewhere. It's a business, guys.
absolutely, and I'm glad you said that. I remember the cigar lounge I used to run in Las Vegas. We would have live music 4 nights out of the week, and we didn't have a cover charge. You know, you come in, you buy your cigar, have some drinks, enjoy the music. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
didn't have a minimum purchase, nothing. Just come and enjoy. And I would have to tell some people, not many, but there's some people I'd have to let them know, hey, our rule is you have to purchase a cigar. You know,
Right.
you could bring your
Like,
own because we don't carry everything, but you have to purchase a cigar. And then I'd tell them, hey, our cheapest cigar in there is like $5. You know, $3.49, whatever it is. You know, like a little mini one. I'm like, so the rule is at least buy one of our cigars and smoke what you want. But
right.
we are cigar lounge, and I have guys say, well, I'm buying drinks, so I should
Mhm.
be able to smoke cigars. Exactly. We're providing you free live music. Yes, you're
Right.
buying drinks, but you got to at least buy a cigar because we're a cigar lounge first. And like the best thing I ever tell them is like, do you bring your own steak to Ruth Chris and ask them to cook it up? Because if they allow you to do that, then you know, like let me know because I'll go there. But you got to support the business. We're
Exactly.
a cigar lounge, so at least purchase one, you know, at best, especially if you're going to sit down and enjoy the lounge, because it costs money to pay for, you know, the television and the lights and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So
You got to
so
play in
just
your employees, you know. Got to
exactly.
restock,
So
you know. And you know,
yeah.
I find being a photographer and everything, I find that once you know the ins and outs of being a business owner or entrepreneur or whatever, you can understand why people do what they do when they have a business. You know, if you never done that, you don't know how much it takes to run that business. And you can't just give everything for free because
100%.
I have to, you know, I have to pay my rent for one, as a photographer, I was like, if I get
Absolutely.
one or two
I
clients
think I
a
lost
month,
you.
I was saying if I can get one or two clients a month, I can at least pay my rent for my studio,
Yeah.
in return. But yeah, a lot of people don't want to pay the price to have that, special flair that I think I will bring to the business when it comes to photography. You know, you can go to JC Penney's or
Hmm.
Sears or whoever does pictures and you won't get that one-on-one type of thing. You're not just a number, you know. I'm going to
Hmm. Absolutely.
make sure that you are posed correctly and your clothes are on right or anything like that. So I understand that as
Hmm.
well.
No, I did see. So I know that you primarily promote cigars on your social media, but I did see lately you did post some of your portfolio stuff
Hmm.
with photography, and I didn't realize that you were actually a photographer, and I think that's really cool. So like, how long have you been doing that for? I mean,
Oh,
that's awesome. Like, I had no idea until you posted some of your photos.
so I think professionally, I've been doing photography for over probably 20 years. Um, in between 15 and
Wow.
20, I lost count because I've always had a camera in my hand. When I was a teenager, my mom had this 35 millimeter camera, and I was like, oh, cool. So I would be the one who always picked up the camera. When she got a video recorder, I picked that up. I did the video
Yeah.
recording. And if I hung out with my friends, I was always the one who had the camera documenting our experiences and everything. And it just so happened, um, I was at church one day, and the photographer that they had asked me to help her out with some of the events that were going on, like the women's conference or, the church anniversary and stuff. So I would be her other person, her other eye. And so when she actually left the
Nice.
ministry, they said, "You're our photographer." And so our pastor, our bishop, always said, "Your gift makes room for you." So that's what happened on that end. So then people started coming to me and
Nice.
asking me, "Well, do you do portraits? Do you do this? Do you do weddings?" And that's like, I would if you're willing to, like invest in me and take that chance in me.
Right.
And that's what happened. And it just grew from there. I was like, I guess if I'm taking your money, then I'm a professional, right? So it's been a while. It's
Nice.
been a while.
I mean, but if you've got a skill and you like what you do and you
Hmm.
do the confidence that people are asking you to do it and willing to pay, I mean, that's awesome. And obviously, you got a gift right there, so that's awesome.
Yeah, and it has grown. I've really developed a love for it. Uh, um, and I like the creativity that comes with it. So after
Hmm.
like anybody can take a picture. Anybody can take a picture, but what I do with it after it, I'll bring that added oomph to it. When I get in there in Lightroom or Photoshop, bring a little pop to it, add a little dimension to it, whatever. Yeah, because in
Hmm.
a normal picture is kind of flat. So if you take a picture with your phone, well, these days the phone is just as good as a DSLR. But yeah, I just add a little bit of Lachelle to it. But if you want to follow me,
Uh-oh.
if you want to follow my photography journey, it's on Photography by Lachelle. So that's on Instagram.
Okay. No, definitely. I'll have to do that for sure.
I was just recently thinking about, doing more photography in the lounges, catching people smoking or doing something like that, because I like that part of it, documenting. I like being a photojournalist kind of thing. A lot of people like to
Yeah.
pose for it. I was like, no, I was trying to get a candid image. Stop.
Right, right.
Yeah,
No.
but it has
I
been
love
a great journey.
Yeah, no, I don't know, I love the way smoke looks in photography,
Hmm.
especially if you could capture it with the right light. It can make a photo look really dramatic and stuff. So that's cool. We might have to link up and do something together for
I would
sure.
love
On the,
to. Once we're able to get off this quarantine, even just a
right?
little bit, I look forward to traveling more with the girls of the round table, the ladies of the round table. So we'll be traveling, going to lounges and doing our thing. What we normally do on Friday nights, we're going to bring it to the lounge.
There you go. There you go.
Well, I want to not take up too much more of your time.
Nice.
I thank you so, so very much
Uh-oh.
for being my guest on
Hello?
Experience the Leap. Did you hear me? I was saying I didn't want to take too much of your time. And I want to thank you for being a part of Experience the Leap Patio Conversations. I must be locked again. She's like just
No,
smiling.
no, no. No, it froze up, but thank you for having me though. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know, it might be my connection as well, but froze up a little bit. But I'm extremely flattered that you would have me on your show. Thank you for having me. Thanks. I mean, getting to know you, especially with the ladies at the round table. Love that as well. I'm going to continue to join you guys, and hopefully, like you said, once this all lifts, we start going to different lounges and you know, and
So,
doing this.
so for people who are just watching on YouTube, how can they get in contact you or follow you on social media?
So I am on Instagram at Tobaconista Jaxx, which I know that's kind of tough to type out, but if you type in Jaxx, which is Jaxx, typically it'll pop up. But Tobaconista Jaxx, and I mean, we interact on social media quite often, so I'm sure they'll find my link on yours as well,
Exactly.
and vice versa,
So are they able to find you on Facebook or Twitter or anything else? No, yeah.
So I do have accounts on Facebook, but I don't go on there anymore. It just became a little too political for
Right,
my
right.
liking, so I've stepped away from Facebook. Twitter, I think I have an account, but I'm not active on that either.
Me
So
neither.
yeah, Instagram is the only thing yeah. So
Yeah, it's a lot of
Instagram's the
work.
only way so far.
Yeah,
I know, right? There's too many
a
different
lot of
outlets.
work. A
So
lot of work.
yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to sign off for now. Thank you so
So,
much
but
again.
thank you. Thank
Until
you so
next
much for having me.
time, keep it smoking, baby. Bye bye.
We'll see you. Thank you. Bye.
I'm so sorry, Sophia. YouTube did not want to connect. I know everybody else is going to be like, what happened? What happened?
The other day when I was watching